This is not a regular astrology update. This is a sacred timestamp. On June 15th, 2025, asteroid Vesta goes direct in Scorpio, and something profound will happen, but only if you're ready to receive it. What you called wasted years, they were never wasted. They were sacred. Let me explain why. You may look back on certain years of your life and feel the sting of stillness, the moments when nothing seemed to move, no door opened, no answer came. It's easy to label those chapters as wasted or lost, but the truth is, they were sacred. Vesta going direct now uncovers the secret behind the silence. Those years were not dead space. They were spiritual storage. Your soul was gathering strength. Your fire was protected, not because you weren't ready, but because the world wasn't ready for the version of you that was forming. The confusion, the delays, the repeated circles, they were not evidence of failure, but of divine precision. While it may have seemed like others raced ahead, your path was being carved in a deeper way. Every pause was a whisper from the universe. Not yet, not here, not this. And even when you questioned everything, your choices, your worth, your direction, there was something in you that still showed up. That quiet resilience? It was proof that your spirit was being refined, not rejected. Now, as Vesta goes direct in Scorpio, the veil lifts. You begin to see that the waiting was not in vain. What you called a delay was actually divine alignment. The parts of you that felt dormant were simply under protection. And now, that time of hiding is over. The energy that was quietly stored, guarded, and built in those silent years is being released. You weren't behind, you were being prepared. And today, that preparation becomes power. When Vesta moves direct in Scorpio, it doesn't come with noise. It comes with knowing. This is not a dramatic flare lighting up the sky. It's a subtle, powerful ignition within your soul, so precise that only those who've truly been through the dark will notice it. This flame doesn't chase attention, it burns for purpose. And it only catches fire in those who stayed true to themselves when every voice around them said to quit, to settle, to conform. If you've held your truth silently through storms, this shift is yours. Scorpio doesn't ignite surface-level sparks. It burns through illusions. And Vesta in this sign means the fire is sacred, not flashy. It won't call for applause, but it will command alignment. It flickers into life for those who've said yes to the path of devotion, even when it looked like nothing was changing. You might not feel an outward rush, but inside, something ancient is waking. Something that has waited patiently, faithfully, for the exact moment you'd be ready to carry it. This moment isn't about becoming someone new. It's about realizing you've been this all along. The light you've searched for outside has always lived within you, covered, waiting. And now, Vesta says, let it burn. Not to impress, not to prove, but to live in complete integrity with the fire you've carried in silence. You don't have to shout it to the world. You just have to let it guide you forward, one sacred step at a time. Have you noticed something or someone returning lately? An idea you shelved years ago, a passion you forgot, a person who once played a role in your journey? This isn't a coincidence. It's a sacred return. Vesta going direct in Scorpio is activating soul contracts that were written long before memory. What's resurfacing now isn't random, it's remembrance. A divine callback from a part of your spirit that always knew this moment would come. And now, you're finally ready. In the past, when these people or ideas showed up, You weren't yet aligned with what they required. You were still learning, still becoming. But now, the energy is different. You're no longer chasing meaning. You're embodying it. What felt like a false start years ago wasn't failure. It was preparation. The universe never told you no. It simply whispered, "Not yet." And now the yes is clear, not because the world changed, but because you did. So, when these echoes of the past arise, treat them like sacred invitations, not from your history, but from your destiny. These are not repetitions, they are revelations. You're not going back. You're going forward, with tools you didn't have the first time around. Don't brush it off as déjà vu. This is divine timing in motion. The mission that once overwhelmed you now feels familiar, because your soul has finally caught up to its original blueprint. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for daily cosmic insights, astrology updates, and spiritual guidance, because the universe always has a message for you. This is not a season of hype. It's a season of truth. The energy moving through you now isn't trying to excite you. It's trying to refine you. Vesta in Scorpio doesn't bring chaotic fire. It brings focused flame, the kind that doesn't light up everything, just the one path you're meant to walk. If you've felt a sudden stillness around the noise and a growing certainty inside, that's not motivation, it's precision. You're being shown not what you could do, but what you must do. You're not guessing anymore. The questions that once kept you circling have started to dissolve. You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to follow the clarity that's already arrived. This focus may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, because for so long you survived in uncertainty. But now that fog is clearing. The pieces are aligning, not randomly, but surgically. Vesta doesn't just warm your soul, it carves your mission into it. So don't wait to feel inspired. This isn't about energy spikes. This is about soul alignment. Your clarity may not come with emotional fireworks, but it will come with unshakable knowing. You don't need more reasons, you just need to trust that what you see now is real. What felt unreachable yesterday has become non-negotiable today. That's not coincidence. That's Vesta cutting through the noise and whispering, "This way, now." Every misstep, every wrong turn, every moment you questioned your place, none of it was wasted. You thought you were lost. You thought you were stuck. But the truth is, you were being trained. Not in obvious ways, but in disguise. The heartbreaks were holy resets. The delays were downloads. Life wasn't denying you, it was shaping you into someone who could carry the weight of your own light. And now, thanks to Vesta's direct motion, you're realizing it was all on purpose. Vesta doesn't reward information, she rewards transformation. And over the years, you didn't just learn lessons, you became the lesson. What once seemed like spirals were actually sacred spirals inward, pulling you deeper into truth. You didn't get stronger by knowing more. You got stronger by surviving what didn't make sense at the time. You were becoming resilient, grounded, and clear, even when everything around you felt chaotic. Now, you don't just have the knowledge, you are the wisdom. So if you've been wondering, am I really ready? The answer is yes. You're not standing at the start line as a beginner. You're standing there as someone who's walked through fire wearing silence. And now that Vesta is direct, the training wheels are off. Not because you've arrived, but because you've remembered. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You've already paid the price of preparation. And now, it's time to walk in mastery. You didn't make noise. You didn't need to. While others chased recognition, you returned, again and again, to what you believed in. even when it seemed pointless. That quiet commitment? It didn't go unnoticed. Vesta doesn't honor the loudest voice. She honors the most faithful presence. Your devotion wasn't validated by results. It was defined by consistency. You showed up for your purpose, even in the silence. And that consistency cast a spiritual spell more powerful than any performance. Now, with Vesta direct in Scorpio, the curtain begins to lift. What once felt like coincidence now reveals itself as coordination. The people reaching out, the signs repeating, the doors creaking open. They're not random. They're divine choreography. The universe was never testing your patience. It was aligning the right pieces at the right time, and your quiet devotion was the signal that activated it all. You weren't walking alone in the dark. Your path was being walked beside by forces you couldn't see, until now. As this sacred fire awakens within you, expect synchronicities to intensify. Strangers will feel familiar. Opportunities will seem tailor-made. This isn't the universe just being kind. It's the universe finally catching up to your consistency. You stayed loyal when it was hardest to. And now the unseen becomes seen. The silent becomes sacred. And the connections that were once waiting begin stepping forward. Not to distract you, but to walk with you into your destined alignment. You've spent so long searching outside, seeking purpose, validation, signs. But now, Vesta's direct motion brings you home to the most sacred place of all, you. The temple you were looking for was never lost. It was waiting to be remembered. Your body, your focus, your stillness, these are the holy grounds. With the flame of Vesta reigniting within, your inner world begins to glow again. Creativity flows with ease. Intuition becomes louder than doubt. You're not rebuilding, you're returning to the throne that was always yours. As you reclaim this inner temple, something magical begins to shift. You no longer feel the desperate need to chase anything. That hunger for direction softens, not because you've stopped caring, but because you've started remembering. The people, ideas, and dreams showing up now aren't new. They're familiar. They belong to your energy field, your soul frequency. And they're not being lured by force. They're being drawn by resonance, like recognizes like. This isn't desire, it's sacred memory. It's the quiet knowing that what is meant for you doesn't need to be pursued, it needs to be welcomed. And as you sit more deeply in your own presence, aligned and undistracted, life stops running from you. It leans in. You don't need to run anymore. The temple is lit, the signal is clear, and everything that once seemed far is now finding its way home, through you. This isn't about pushing harder, it's about standing still with power. Vesta going direct isn't lighting a temporary spark, it's restoring a sacred flame, not the frantic fire of urgency, but the steady burn of embodiment. You don't need to chase purpose anymore, you are the purpose. Everything you've been through has led to this quiet, powerful now. This isn't a second chance. This is the first real beginning. And all it asks of you is presence. You've spent years becoming without realizing it, preparing, shedding, remembering. And now, the energy returns not to test you, but to settle into you. The mission is no longer something you must figure out. It's something you now live. Your walk becomes your message. Your stillness becomes your strength. This is the season of embodiment. You don't have to speak it, you just have to be it. So if this resonates deep in your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Save this, share this, and comment I3 below if you're ready to honor the fire that never left. It only waited for your alignment. You were never behind. You were being timed with precision. And now, Vesta whispers the one word you've been waiting for all along. Now.